It is important to know when you owe sales tax in each state. Now, I'm talking as someone from the US, but Shopify does help you figure out when you need to start collecting and paying. So I'm going to show you that part of Shopify. First, we're going to click into settings in the lower left corner, and then we are going to click into taxes and duties. And I'm not giving any tax advice in this video. Just like Shopify says here, if you're unsure about where you're liable, check with a tax professional. I am not a tax professional. I'm just showing you this area of Shopify. And I'll be honest, I'm not that knowledgeable about when you need to collect in other countries. I'm in the United States. I'm going to click the United States. And here it is showing you can select your tax service. So I've used Shopify Tax, but they do take a little bit of a fee for it. And then down here is saying how to stay compliant, monitor your liability, categorize products, access your data. So they're saying the reporting is new. The transaction fee is 0.35% now that you've reached $100,000 in US sales this calendar year. So if you did not reach that much, it won't charge that transaction fee to create your reports for your sales tax. So I'm adding this in after I'd recorded the first part of the video. This page has already changed a little bit from the last time, and it might be because my sales fell under that $100,000 for a calendar year. But I wanted to show if you hit manage over here, a page will pop up where you can choose what type of tax service you want from Shopify. So the Shopify Tax is the highest level of compliance with a minimum amount of upkeep. A highly accurate automated service featuring the most precise sales tax calculation technology. So this is the one that's going to really break down the sales in the cities and counties. But if you don't want that, you could choose something like the basic one, which is low level of compliance with a considerable amount of upkeep. So you would have to do a lot more on your end. So summary, a semi-automated service that relies on your own manual tracking and updating to reduce the risk of under or over collection. And then you also have manual tax, the lowest level of compliance with a high amount of upkeep. Summary, a non-automated service that requires completely manual tax rate input, tracking, and updating. So this manual tax, if you scroll down, it says based on the rates you manually set for each state. So with that one, Shopify wouldn't be figuring out even how much sales tax to charge a customer. You would have to be entering that yourself. Now, as someone who ran a business before this Shopify Tax was even available, if you're not using another program, I do recommend using it because having everything broken down for you is a lot easier than having to figure it out yourself or having to go in Excel and use a bunch of formulas to get it split up. So now I'm going to go back to the original video that I filmed. So I'm going to scroll down and it says Manage Tax Collection, Manage Tax Liability. Based on your store's data in Shopify, you may need to start collecting taxes in some regions. Begin by registering with the appropriate state tax authority and then turning on sales tax collection for the regions below. See, I was liable in 7 states, so I collected and paid to those 7 states. And then if you click up here at Show All Liabilities, it'll say if you have action required, monitoring required, this means you're getting close, or no action required. So if you click into this no action required, it will say what percentage you've reached needing to start collecting it. Again, I'm not a tax professional. You may need to talk to a tax professional just to double check this information. When you go to a certain state here, you can hit show details and it will show you more information. This one's saying you've reached 6% of the sales and 64% of the orders threshold. So see, this one's saying this 100,000 in sales or 200 orders. I'm not sure if it's or and. Some are or and some are and. And this one says you need to collect if you reach 100,000 in sales or 200 orders. So whichever one comes first, you would have to start collecting. And then it's saying here that they're calculating this data from the past 12 months. And when you scroll down, you can go through all the different states. Some of them have easier thresholds to hit, and then that's why you may need to start collecting. Or let's say, just for example, one like Minnesota, that it's or if 200 orders are hit. If you're having just a few people that are ordering weekly, let's say you have 4 people that order once a week, it's not that hard to hit the 200 orders. So just keep that all in mind. A lot of the ones I had to pay in, it wasn't the dollar amount, it was the order amount. And I do want to really stress, when you are liable to start collecting sales tax in one of these states, do not put it off. I had a few that I just felt like I was way too busy, I was way too stressed with just running the business, that I put off collecting sales tax in some of them. And I just decided I was going to take the hit of collecting it late. I was just going to pay the sales tax that the customers would have needed to pay, and I was going to pay any late fees. But if you are not going in Shopify and telling Shopify to start collecting the sales tax and collecting the data for the reports for you, it is really hard to go figure out all the information you need to figure out to file it. So I just really recommend staying on top of it.